Sorry, I forgot to record. You'll have to have a real quick redo. All right. Hashing. Hashing is what we do with passwords rather than storing them at, if you're going to log into google.com. When I log in, if my plain text password was sent back and forth and they had it stored in plain text, that would not be very secure. Somebody breaks in their system, they have my password in plain text. No, nothing stored in plain text. What we do when we're setting up our account is we do have to type in our password once, but what the other end does right away is generate a hash of that. Every set of characters should have a unique hash. So this is stored there. This cannot be reversed. You can't take this and figure out what your password was. That doesn't work. So that's what's stored, that's what's transmitted everywhere. Hashes are used. And the SHA-1, well, if you look into the, let's see if Google Chrome has that information. Oh boy. Yep, I know I'm viewing a secure page. I want to see the secure page information. But apparently it's easier in Firefox, which I have not set up on this one yet. I thought it would be here. I don't want site information. Connection is secure. Oh, there we go. That should give it. There we go. Does this look familiar? It's a hash. Hash is used all kinds of places to make sure that you are who you say you are, because a hash cannot be reversed. And so the common one being used right now is SHA-256. Well, notice this one has more in it. This one has more. SHA-256 has more. So what would be the advantage of having a bigger hash? A longer hash? Boy, it's a very quiet crowd here today. So is this a better hash than the other one I had? Yeah, first one was about here, second one was about here. Let's do multiple hash. Multiple hash calculator. Actually, I have a program that does this, but oh, look at there, it does all kinds of things. And many other algorithms. All right, so we'll put in our favorite password that you'll never ever use anywhere. Look at what happens. Oh, this even goes off the edge, doesn't it? So what's the advantage of having a longer hash? It is hard to break. Any encryption translating back and forth takes overhead. So the disadvantage of a longer hash is more resources. It takes more resources to use it. This is our current standard, SHA-256. So it's a compromise between being secure and not taking overwhelming amount of computing power. Because anytime you're encrypting and using hashes and all these other algorithms, you're using computer processes. So Dylan, what's the disadvantage of using a longer hash?
Yes, it'd be a little bit more annoying to,
You don't type in a hash, it's converted for you. And I was just testing you because I just gave the answer, didn't I, Hope? Hope is like going to sleep on me.
No.
Is this the wrong time of day? Why you, Yanni? What's the disadvantage of having a longer hash? Because it takes more.
no, given to you just have to copy paste.
You don't copy and paste hashes, they're automatically generated. The disadvantage of a longer hash is it takes more resources and more time. Yeah, time and resources. Takes more time and resources. So that's why we're using SHA-256 and not 512, although some places will use this. Because over time, each of these has proved that they have holes in it that people can reverse them. So this is important stuff for cybersecurity and IT and all that stuff. Hashes, or programmers too. Hashes are part of your encryption. I think that's everything in here. Oh, yeah, the next part is, let's see, I typed in a short one. What if I type in a really long one? Do you think it's gonna be longer in the hash? What do you think there, Dylan?
It should be at least a little bit in the same length.
Exactly the same length. So there's no way to tell from a hash how long your password was. So that's one of the reasons a hash is irreversible. It's a one-way street. You can't go back. However, and this is the part that is the next step of this, which we're not going to do in this class, I don't think. I'm just introducing the concept of hash. How do you crack a hash? So data breaches get all these hashes. Well, you can't reverse it. So how do you get all these passwords and usernames? There's word lists all over the place with passwords and usernames. So how do they get it? What's the deal? Have I Been Pawned is a website you should check once in a while for your email address, see if you've been in a data breach. I went in here the other day in a class and I discovered that, oh, if I haven't changed this in a while, I should. Uh-oh, I've been pwned. It's and these are older, up 2024. No idea what that was. But apparently somehow my email address was in there. I don't know. Because I've never used zlib. I don't even know what it is. But if you find something like that, well, time to change your password. And it's time to change your password anyway. So what they got was a bunch of hashes and encrypted things. See, it says right here, hashes. But hashes can't be reversed, right? Get passwords from a hash. How do we do that? Oh, this really is, none of these are really happening. Yeah, that's not very helpful. Yeah, nope. Well, we'll do something else here. We will ask Copilot. Because that's not really good. Oh, I'm not supposed to do that, am I? Oops, wrong one. Am I supposed to use AI to teach a class? I know what the right answer would look like. I've already done this. I know the answer. That's when you use AI. If you've already done it, you just want to speed things up. If you use AI all the time, your career is going to be very interesting. But you do need to know how to use AI. So find places where you can use AI that doesn't do all the work for you. Anyway, how do we reverse, or how do we find the password from a hash? In fact, I've written programs that do this. And this is a good use for it. Is finding things you're not quite sure that you understand, type it in here. So reversing a hash is not possible, right? But this is the most common one. You find a list of common passwords and you hash the password, you can compare hashes. When you log in to Amazon. Well, you may not log into Amazon.com. You're sending your hash over. Amazon says, oh, that's the same matching hash. This is Hope. She can buy $1 million worth of stuff. Right. Wouldn't that be good? Mm-hmm. And so there are password dictionaries that you compare them one at a time. You compare one hash to another. So that's what they do. They test that. It uses a pre-compiled list of words. And there's some that have 10 million words. There are passwords in those that have been actually used by people because they're from data breaches that people have reversed. Password dictionary files. Password dictionary, dictionary password dictionaries. If you do a search and keep looking and looking, you can find all sorts of password dictionary files. I usually call it a password word list or something like that. There, Telmalium, right there. And these are passwords people have actually used. And one of yours could be in there. How does that relate to networking? Security is part of networking. Security